For Roberto De Zerbi first, it looks like. 7's all round for Roberto. You guys have gone 7.6. I wanted him to take this game seriously, and he most definitely did that. Picked, what was it, 2 off our predicted lineup?
Yeah, we predicted Dubravka to play, and we predicted Senesi.
So, yeah, I mean, I was happy with the lineup that he played. Good to see Savio integrated as well. Tactically, I thought we controlled the game from start to finish, and it was a really good performance. The only reason it's not higher is because of the level of opposition. It was, an easy night for Roberto.
Yeah, I think that obviously takes a little bit of the pressure off us when they're making 10 changes, and it kind of makes it easier. And you know that you're going to have pretty much full control of this game now. But you still have to make sure of that advantage, don't you? And obviously make the right subs, and he brought on Savio, gave him his debut, and clearly he's given him some confidence because look at the way he was playing. So fair play.
And I love that comment where he set the target for Savio for 10 to 12 goals during the season.
What do you think he set for Marmoush?
I reckon Marmoush.
20?
Marmoush, he's gone for.
If it's 10 to 12 for Savio, you got to double it for Omar. Come on.
Yeah, I reckon he's gone for like 15 for Marmoush.
15.
15 would be a brilliant return for Marmoush.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, and also we integrated players that we hadn't seen in pre-season. Porro back on the pitch, Van de Ven back on the pitch. Udogie started the game and looking good. So as much as we've criticised the preparation for the season, these players still look sharp. So that's a massive credit to Roberto De Zerbi, in my opinion. Next up is Antonin Kinsky. 6 all round from us, 6.5 from you. I mean, it was a quiet night. What did he make? 1 save?
Yeah, one from in the first half, wasn't it? They had a shot from 25 yards.
So, I mean, he could have had a sleeping bag in that goal for the majority of it, and it wouldn't have made a difference.
Didn't cover himself much glory with the goal, you would say. Through his legs. I mean, it wasn't exactly. I mean, it was really close range.
Defending as well.
Was poor defending, but I think if you're Kinsky, he looked quite disappointed with himself with the goal. So I don't know who got beaten in the air, but obviously that didn't help. But I think if you're Kinsky, I don't think you're that happy with that goal being conceded.
Yeah.
I think most of the time, though, he did come for a few more crosses. Again, he seems to elect to punch a lot, doesn't he? He doesn't like to come and claim things. So that's maybe something we're going to have to get used to. But other than that, I mean, I don't think we saw his ball-playing ability in this game. No, didn't need to.
Not at all. Next up is Archie Gray. 6 all round, 6.5 from you guys. I mean, from a defensive standpoint, I don't think they even went down that side at all. I don't think he was under pressure whatsoever defensively like he was in the Brentford game where he really was under it. But I was happy with the way he was linking up with Mikey Moore on that right-hand side. Some really nice link-up play, overlapping runs and everything like that. So I was happy with Archie. I don't think it was like an incredible performance, but it was a good performance.
Yeah, nearly got on the score sheet a couple of times.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
one outside of the toe poke, wasn't it?
Toe poke, yeah.
One toe poke in the first half. In the second half, I think Tel sets him up, and he has a shot across the face of goal, which the keeper saved. So decent. I didn't think his delivery from when he got the chance to whip it in was particularly great. There was a couple of occasions, or at least one occasion, where he put it straight out for a goal kick as well, which was disappointing. But I thought he kind of did link up well with Mikey, and I thought he was all right when he went into midfield as well.
Next up is Paul van Hecke. Sim gives him a 7. I gave him a 6. You guys giving him a 6.5. It was much more confident than it was against Brentford. I would say that. Look, it was a horror show at Brentford, let's be honest. I think in this game, he just kept things simple, to be honest. I don't think, he was going for some crazy passes like we know he's capable of. But I think he had a very high passing percentage. I think the highest on the pitch. So you've got to give him credit for that. Was aggressive going into the middle of the park, contributing to our attack. So it was a lot better than it was against Brentford, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think in these kind of games, I don't think he's going to be really tasked with maybe passing in between the lines too much, because I think the team's going to be lower block. That his role will be, because it won't be hard to access midfielders at that point. You just give it to Fernandes or Bentancur, let them play. There was no switches of play or anything. There was a couple of times though he did kind of stride into midfield and into the Charlton half, and that was decent. That was quite good.
It's hard to tell the difference between him and Bergvall.
Yeah, I know, it's true. But yeah, had a very quiet game. Defensively, had pretty much nothing to do. But yeah, I liked what I saw. He was more confident.
Ben Davies, 7s all round for Ben, 7.3 from you guys. I thought he was actually had a really strong game. Defensively, look, he didn't have much to do. Got himself on the score sheet with a deflection off Savio's shot. But I thought, we talk about Van Hecke not playing these like kind of crossfield balls, but I think Ben Davies was doing them all night long. I thought his passing ability was fantastic last night, so I'll give him a lot of credit for that. I just thought he was passing the ball a lot more cleaner and crisper than Van Hecke.
Fair play. I mean, got his goal as well. Not sure how much he knew about it, but he got it, and he seemed almost apologetic to take it away from Savio, who
he didn't look apologetic to me. Like in that celebration, he goes straight up to Savio, saying that was my goal,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but he had a big smile on his face. But yeah, look, had a good game. Followed up after what was quite a good game when he played Hoffenheim as well. So yeah, pretty good showing. Also went to left back as well, and didn't really get forward much, but he was fine.
Yeah. Destiny Udogie, Sim gives him a 7. I gave him a 6, 7.3 from you guys. I just thought the main thing for me was to see him looking sharp, and I think he did that. I think he could have contributed more on an offensive point of view, especially when you take into account the opposition. I thought he was the best of the two down the left-hand side between him and Tel. But, he was linking up nicely with Tel, but then Tel kind of was struggling to take on his man and struggling to beat his man. So I think it was a good display from Udogie, but I think we know he's capable of a lot better.
Yeah, I think he was pretty decent. Didn't do too much wrong. I think the most important thing, as you say, is he's getting up to speed, because I think we're probably going to need him for Saturday, to be honest. So we only played 60. He went off on 64 or something. So hopefully that's enough. That's enough of a run out for him to get a start on Saturday. And I thought he was stretching them. I thought he was continuously up there helping Tel. But we know when he gets in those positions in the final third, it just needs a lot of work.
Kind of like a throwback to Destiny under Ange, wasn't it? With the areas that he was taking up on the pitch. So it was good to see. Next up is Lucas Bergvall. You gave him a 6. I gave him a 5. 5.8 from you guys. I did think he was probably the weakest link in the starting 11. I think it was better than what we saw against Brentford, but I still think like he was rushing his decisions at times. He was impacting stuff going forward and in his nice little driving runs. But I still think, he lost the ball quite a number of times where he didn't need to, really.
Yeah, obviously he was not losing the ball in the same areas as Brentford, because he just wasn't in those areas, and the Spurs weren't in those areas. So it was a different game for him. I thought he was okay. I don't think it was anything special. I don't think he comes away from that game thinking I killed it, but I don't think he'll be just that disappointed like with the performance. I thought he helped the midfield control it. A couple of nice carries. I thought he kept it a lot simpler. Maybe that was part of it for it to be a lot simpler. But yeah, I thought he was okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see like where our lowest rating of the day here is 5, where our highest rating of the day was probably 5 last weekend. But next up is Rodrigo Bentancur, 7s all round, 7.3 from you guys. I thought he's got a really nice relationship going on there with Mateus Fernandes in the middle of the park. Kept things simple. He was the deepest lying midfielder on the day, and I thought nothing really got past him, and he was contributing with his passing and gliding up the pitch. And he just was the facilitator for what Mateus Fernandes was doing yesterday. So I thought he had a massive impact in the game.
Yeah, and it was nice to see him looking really kind of fresh, getting close to midfielders, putting in those tackles in. I thought when he was asked to do a few times like these quick one-touch interchanges, he was a bit hit and miss. A couple of them went out of play, but then I think once he got to grips with the game, he was fine. But yeah, I think mainly off the ball, just facilitating the other midfielders, he was really, really good.
Next up is Mateus Fernandes. You gave him a 9, I gave him an 8, 8.5 from you guys. Such a lovely player to watch. He is so sexy on the ball. He really is.
He's like the anti-Conor Gallagher.
Yeah, literally the polar opposites, man. Polar opposites. Just like you just want to see him keep receiving the ball, keep receiving the ball, keep receiving the ball, because you just know something amazing is about to happen. Some of the passes that he was doing yesterday, it's just like, wow, like where have you been all my life? Seriously, like 85 million we signed him for, and after watching that game, even if it's against an undercooked Charlton, I'm just like, come on, West Ham, can we pay you some more money, please? Like, this guy is just, he's going to be so important for us this season. I already put him in as Spurs' signing of the season. And even with getting Savio and Marmoush through after making those ratings, I still put him as going to be our signing of the season. Like, this guy, what a breath of fresh air he is. What he does for this football club is going to be insane.
Yeah, and I think, Kanté pretty much puts it perfectly, silky and smooth. I think that's the best way to describe him. Everything he does is so clean and so with a purpose. And every time he takes the ball in the half turn, it's directly in front of him. The touch is on point. The passes out wide are clean and on point, right on the money. The player usually receiving the ball doesn't have to break stride to receive it. It's like when you see like Gallagher doing those kind of things, it's like clunky, the ball's bobbling and bouncing and he's hustling and bustling, but it's just not the same. And then you see Fernandes take the ball and it's just like a ballet dancer. It's just completely different. It's so beautiful to watch, and I'm enjoying every second. It's very early days, obviously tougher challenges to come, but I'm loving the early signs. Loving it.
Absolutely. Next up is Mikey Moore, 8 all round.
Just quickly, Beyond said, hope Ben's wife isn't watching.
7.9 from you guys. Gets his goal, gets an assist. A great performance from him. I thought, he looked most threatening when we were just working our way into the game, and he gets his goal with a great finish. And I thought after that, just kind of a weight lifted off his shoulders. He was attacking his man. His first touch was brilliant to get away from his man as well. So really good performance from Mikey Moore. Yeah,
really great to see him in that kind of form. I know it's a League Cup game, but he's 19. I think a lot of people, when we talk about Mikey Moore, because we've been speaking about him for so long and he's been around for so long, it feels like that anyway. Like, we forget how young he is. He is still only 19 years of age. He's still got a lot of growing and learning to do. And I think you look at him compared to a lot of players his age, he's just well above them and he's well ahead of them, most players. And we forget that. I think because he came in at 17 and he had some good performances, you're thinking, okay, well, if he's, and now he's 19 and you're thinking, oh, he's got to be ready-made now. He's got to be, performing every week. He's got to be amazing. It's like, well, it doesn't work like that. And I think what he's showing is brilliant. And I think he's showing what a talent he is. And I think this is more examples of it. And if he scored 2 goals in pre-season against Hoffenheim, got another goal here, I think, and he had a brilliant season with Rangers. He's got some good momentum going. So whatever happens, whether he's on loan or he stays here, I just hope he continues on this trajectory. And he got so heavily slammed after that Brentford game for those misses. And he was the only one getting in those positions. It brings back to the conversation before about these players, like you mentioned, Savio and Mbeumo and Bale, always getting in these positions and not finding the back of the net. The guy's 19 and he was the only one in the whole team in the Premier League getting in those positions. Yeah, and you cast your mind back to when he was playing Premier League games under Ange 2 years ago, right? He was basically anonymous. You wouldn't see him. He was getting marked out of games. And that's when you're not ready. Like in this situation, I know in the first half he was kind of getting marked out of the game, but second half, talk about Brentford, he had those 3 chances and he missed. In this situation, he's getting involved. He's there. You see him. He's active. He's taking players on and he gets a goal. This is not a guy who's completely not ready. I'm not saying he's ready to be a star in the Premier League, but I do think he could go to a Premier League club and do well. I'm not saying smash it, but I don't think he would look out of place in a Premier League team. Yeah, I agree with that. Dominic Solanke, 7s all round, 7.4 from you guys. Gets a goal, which was a fantastic finish, first-time finish into the bottom corner. And I think, everything that I've criticised him for going into this season, about losing the fire in his eyes, not looking like he wants it, not imposing himself enough in games, I think all of that, he showed basically the opposite traits in this game, which was a delight to see. I thought, he was a really good kind of central striker, hold-up play, rarely lost the ball. A number of times he was just picking up the ball and it looked like he had 2 or 3 men around him and he was able to retain the possession and just play a nice pass. So I think he was better than what we've seen in the number 9 all pre-season and definitely in the Brentford game. So hopefully he can build on this performance now, because this has only got to be the start. It's a Carabao Cup game against Charlton. He's done very well. I want to see him take this now into the Premier League and show these same attributes and be an even bigger threat on goal. Yeah, and hopefully that goal, he scored can really give him a little boost of confidence, because that is something that Zoe mentioned, that when he struggles with confidence, it can affect him, and I think that's something we've seen from him. He hasn't looked the same player that we signed from Bournemouth, and especially the one we saw early in his time at Tottenham. But yesterday there were signs of it. I don't think he was fully there, and I still think obviously he's not 100% fit, but I think there were signs of him starting to use his physicality a lot more. It was a really confident finish for the goal. He was defending from the front. There was a time where it looked like it was a 50-50 in the middle, and he just comes in, bulldozing his way in and winning that ball and making sure Spurs come away with it. Those are the kind of things that we know Solanke is really good at. So if he could get to peak fitness and also peak confidence, we've got a very good striker there who can get goals, and as well is going to be a nightmare to defend when teams are trying to build up and whatever. He's going to be a nightmare for them.
Mathys Tel, 6s all round. You guys giving him a 6.4. I thought he really struggled to get into the game in the first half, and I thought he was poor actually in the first half. I was criticising him for not being able to take on his man. You're playing against a Charlton side that have made 10 changes. You've got to be imposing yourself in the game, and he just didn't do that. Second half, it got better. He was able to take on his man. He was contributing to the attack, and he was looking very threatening and very dangerous. And we saw this against Brentford, didn't we? Like in the first half, I thought it was very similar in the first half against Brentford. Then you saw him kind of grow in the second half and able to take on his man and contribute to the attack. And I thought it was very similar in this game.
Yeah, and also remember Hoffenheim, he struggled first half, and then second half he had a much better game. So it's definitely happened in a few games now. I think actually you think Spurs in general, we've been better second half. So I wonder if it's just Deserby making tweaks or something or getting into them. But anyway, back to Tel. Yeah, I did find him frustrating in this game. I felt like he just had a lot of indecision about him. He just didn't, when he received the ball, he takes so many touches, and by the time he makes his decision, it feels like the defenders are set and it's a lot harder to pull off what he wants to do. But even within that, there was a few times where he takes a while to decide, and then when he decides to take him on, the defender still struggles. So I just get the feeling if he can make a decision a bit quicker.
Audio gone, lads.
Is it?
Audio fine, gone.
No?
It's fine.
It's fine? Okay. What I was saying, so I still feel like even when he takes on his man after a bit of decision to make that he's making, he can still cause trouble for the fullback. So I get a feeling if he can make his decision a bit quicker, get that defender on the back foot a little bit more, I think he's going to have the beating of them more often than not. I think his quality is good. I know he didn't have too many opportunities to shoot, but I think those little passes to the underlapping fullbacks and stuff are great, and a lot of the time he's starting to pull them off with regularity now and creating chances there. So that's really great. I want to see him cutting inside and shooting a bit more. I want to see him getting in more goal-scoring positions. I want to see him getting more better quality crosses in. But I do think in general his quality is good. But yeah, I just think the frustrating thing is his indecision a bit. It needs to be a bit more decisive.
When he gets into that area in like the Sonny zone, like he's probably the best player we have in that kind of area.
Well, for now.
For now, yeah.
Because we've got Marmoush and Gakpo maybe coming.
Yeah, I know. We haven't seen them we've seen Savio now, but let's get into the subs. Let's talk about Kevin Danso. You gave him a 7, I gave him an 8, 7.2. First touch, scores with a header, which was a fantastic header, by the way. And I think after that, I think the next 5 touches were all headers. And I'm just like, when I say a header now, I just take so much more from it because of what we went through against Brentford and not being able to win aerial duels. So I think Kevin Danso came on and did a really good job.
Yeah, solid. Got the goal. Obviously made it 3-0, killed the game, and was pretty decisive from a few headers as well, going the other way. So came on and did a really good job.
Savio. 9s all round for Savio. You guys have given an 8.7. Who is rating Savio below a 9 in this game?
Who are you?
Show
yourself.
Exactly. Let us know in the comments section. But yeah, what a fantastic cameo he was. He came on for like the last 20 minutes and he got a goal. Nearly got another goal, which credited to assist. But let's be honest, that is his goal. So the first one is such high quality. The way he cuts inside and finishes it into the near corner, top quality from Savio. The second one dribbles past like 3 men and takes a shot, deflects off Ben Davies and finds its way into the back of the net. But it wasn't just that. Every time he got the ball, I could have just imagined everyone in the south stand standing up and in anticipation of what's going to happen next, because he was taking on his men. They couldn't handle him. He was sitting Charlton players down constantly. I mean, just a constant threat down that right-hand side. Link-up play with Pedro Porro as well. Just everything he was doing was just so exciting, and I can't wait to see more.
Yeah, me too. And it was like lightning in a bottle that had just been let out, and it was fantastic. And he just excited everyone in that stadium. Every time he got the ball, there was anticipation. There was excitement about what he was going to do next. It was so great to see, and the goals he scored, phenomenal. And I think it's so important with all the talk around him that he just got off to a start like this, because it just quieted down the noise. It gives the Spurs fans a bit more patience with him in that sense. But also, I guess it kind of hypes expectation even more in a way because of the goal. But I also think it just quietens down the noise about the money and the goals he scores and everything like that kind of question. I'm just delighted. And you know what as well? He just seems so happy to be here. You can just see it in his face. He's just delighted to be at Tottenham. For a player that's been so desperate to come here for so long, I just love how happy he is, and it's so great to see.
Proper fan favourite already. Like you said, he's got his song in the
Yeah, he does. Got a song already.
And
has anyone had a song within 20 minutes?
I'm pretty sure players have had. I think Solanke had a song before he even kicked the ball. I think players have had songs pretty early on.
What song does Solanke have? Dom Dom Dee Dom.
No, the song that he had we can't repeat on this channel, but he had a song before he kicked the ball. That's for sure. But yeah, and that celebration was just perfect. Next up is Pedro Porro, 6 all round, 7.2 from you guys. Yeah, look, all we can say is he didn't have much time on the pitch, but it was really nice link-up play with Savio down that right-hand side. It's just great to see him back, great to see him fit, and he's got a start on the weekend.
Yeah, I think the only thing is I reckon Porro, he got into a few crossing positions which didn't really put the best deliveries in, but we know that's one of his biggest strengths, so it shouldn't be an issue. But yeah, it was great to see him back on the pitch.
Next up is Mickey van der Ven, 6 all round, 6.7. I would say, I think he was one of the players at fault for the goal that we did concede. But look, the game was won 5-0, and I think everyone just switched off at that moment. But look, great to see him back, and I give him a 6 for just putting the armband on.
What happened to him when he went down? Did you see? Because he got a knock as well, didn't he?
I don't think it was anything.
Because he was down for quite a bit.
I can't remember off the top of my head, to be honest, but I don't remember thinking anything significant.
Obviously, we had one of the trademark Van der Ven. I mean, he didn't get to it this time, but there was a moment where the Charlton player was through on goal, and you just see Van der Ven like a steam train on his way and kind of rush the player into a shot.
He got a nosebleed.
Was it a nosebleed?
Yeah, it was a nosebleed.
Okay, that's nothing too serious. But yeah, it was also really good to see him.
And I think that is that. No, Williams Barnett. I mean, Williams Barnett had a couple of minutes, didn't really get on the ball. So that's Williams Barnett, and that is our player ratings for the 5-1 win against Charlton. So let us know your ratings in the comments section below.